this man is carrying a complete SSTR-1 outfit while preserving a perfectly normal appearance. The transmitter and receiver are under his coat in front, and the power supply is inside a loaf of bread in the package under his arm. The set is used the world over, so the power supply units are made in three types, necessary in a world with such widely varying electrical systems. Generally, a man needs only one kind of power supply, but the instructors in the classrooms show the student operators how all of the units work. This is the power supply that was concealed in a loaf of bread. It is designed for an alternating current of from 25 to 60 cycles and of 110 or 220 volts. The 110 and 220 are only approximate, as the unit will operate with as much as a 20-volt variation on either side of these markings, 90 to 130 volts on the 110-volt tap, and 200 to 240 volts on the 220-volt tap. The line voltage is easy to determine by looking at the voltage marked on an electric light globe. If there are no light globes around, push the voltage selector switch to 220 volts and turn the set on. If the set won't work or the tube will not light up, push the selector switch over to 110 volts. It won't hurt the set or blow a fuse if you plug into a 110-volt line with a switch set on 220 volts. If the tube doesn't light up on either voltage, the fuse under this cap has probably blown. Unscrew the fuse cap by turning it in the direction of the arrow, and take the fuse out to see if the link is broken. If it looks okay, your trouble is probably the tube. Try a new one from the spare parts kit, which always has a spare tube and a spare fuse in it. Should you run across a voltage outside these ranges, say 150 volts, try to operate with the selector on 220. If this doesn't work, go to the 110-volt tap, and providing the fuses don't blow, get the message out before the set burns up. On the power cord, the plug is the standard U.S. type. But because so many countries have a different kind of electrical outlet, you have an adapter plug that will fit into many of them. If neither of these plugs fit, you will have to rely on your own ingenuity to make a connection work. Sets that are going to be used where there is no commercial AC power get this second type of power supply. It works from any 6-volt storage battery or from dry cells, and has a rectifier tube and a vibrator to convert the battery current for use in the set. Attach these two clips to the battery terminals, making sure that the clip with the positive sign goes to the positive terminal, and the other clip to the negative terminal. The third type of power supply is a combination of the AC and the battery type just seen. In addition, it has a charging unit built into it, so a storage battery may be recharged when commercial power is available. A selector switch recessed into the lid will set it to operate from 110 or 220 volts AC current or from a 6-volt battery. The leads from the unit to the battery are two rubber-covered wires stowed in the bottom compartment. Put the positive clip that has the positive sign cut in it to the positive battery terminal and the negative clip to the negative terminal. When the power supply is being run from a battery, the selector is in the 6-volt position. But when the power supply is being used to charge the battery, The power cord is plugged into an outlet, and the selector goes on the charging side to the correct 220 or 110 volts. The transmitter or receiver is plugged into the 5-hole power socket, just like on the other two types. The AC part of the unit has a fuse holder for a